A couple people have an Android, so I can't name it, but so here's the thing, and this is important because if I don't go over this, people are going to get mad. So for Costa Rica, we had a text group. Okay, it's our mission team.
Oh no.
It was great, and
my text group was the best.
Like there's pictures of Mike.
yeah. So it turned into a troll fest, really. So this can't. If we're going to do this. If you want me to communicate with you by email or something like that, you have to be responsible for checking your email. We can do that.
Who does that?
We could do a text message group. I would want to do that. But here would be like the guidelines I would want to do for that. Not that I want a bunch of rules, but I just want to. The reason why I want a text group is to tell you guys when we're going to meet. We're going to meet once a month. Sometimes we might meet online or like this. If everybody's busy and y'all could just meet from home or whatever, that'd be cool. So I'd like to let you know about when those meetings can happen. We can schedule it with each other. Second thing is I would want to tell you when an opportunity comes up that you guys can serve. The third thing, or if we're making a decision, and then the third thing would be for you guys to ask questions. So that would be all I want to use it for. Like that's it. Not like sending funny pictures or if like you make good grades on your exam, like yeah, we love you. You make good grades on your exam, but like start a new text group or whatever. So if we make that group, are you guys cool with that?
Two and have one that is a troll fest and one that's actually.
No, I'm not joining the troll fest.
Why?
I'm not joining the troll fest.
Touch.
Yeah, I definitely have a choice. Check it. So we're going to go really quick. We're going to go over this communication lesson very, very fast. We're going to go over the schedule together and just talk about the next 2 or 3 things coming up. And then we're going to pray together. All right. So, true that. So let me get, I'm seeing that. All right, communication that counts. Let's just do what we've been doing and read it together. Is it okay if I don't like lead it, if we like read and you guys pay attention to who's reading? Sure. Okay. So let me ask this question. What are some of the different ways that leaders communicate? Different styles of communicating is what that question is asking. What kind of different styles? Nope, it's all verbal. Unless you want to write something down, you totally can. What? Yeah, what styles of communicating? No, not forms of communicating, not means of communicating, styles of communicating.
Being welcoming.
Welcoming.
Inviting.
Okay, inviting, hospitable.
Discussing.
Discussion oriented, good.
There's definitely one style that just relies heavily on rhetoric and charisma. No one else has to talk.
Yeah.
You can just inspire people.
They like to hear themselves speak.
Yeah.
There's a lot of leaders that communicate by guilt,
Mm-hmm.
and if you haven't had that yet, you will. They like to they motivate you by making you feel bad about what you're doing with them, right?
Motivation.
No more Baptist tape. What? Motivated by motivating you. Okay, good. What else? Okay. Challenging you, good. Similar, but definitely there's differences there. That's good. What else? What are some different styles of the ways leaders communicate?
I think that some people don't even bother talking. There's just example. They just communicate by what they do.
That's good. All right. Number 2. What makes someone not a leader worth following? What makes a leader not worth following? What are some things that can make a leader not worth following?
Lack of skill in like speech or
Okay.
like Moses, for example. Like a lot of people didn't want to follow Moses because of his like
Speech impediment. Yep.
When one takes control over the other, like if you have a bunch of leaders and one starts trying to control everything.
corruption. Yeah.
I think that just being aloof. I think that having.
What does aloof mean? I'm sorry.
Okay, aloof means feeling like you're above other people,
Okay.
or acting that way anyway. Considering yourself to be above the people that you're leading, like in some way other than being in charge.
Yeah. Let me attempt to draw something. And you guys have seen a picture of this probably. So it has this big, huge thing, and there's people pulling it, right? And this is what they're trying to pull. So they're pulling this thing, and the leader's like right up here. He's chilling, and he's like,
Yeah, I'm the leader.
he's like,
much bigger. Yeah, he's really
Because
big.
he's the leader.
and he's like, "Rah, pull.
I feel like that's
Harry Potter.
Yes.
I feel like that's the difference between boss and leader, though. Because
Yes.
Boss, it tells people to do
This
stuff. The leader
is-
pulls it with boss.
This is one form of leadership. And you can get people to move. Like, a lot of people are good at this. And they can get people to pull.
Drill sergeants.
Right? They can. A lot of people can do this. I'm terrible at this. People don't even take me seriously if I tried this. That's one way to do it. Here's what your way of leading is going to be, hopefully. And this is how you learn about leadership. Okay?
He's so
One
sad.
eye.
All right. He gets in front. That leader gets in front and sets an example, motivates, inspires, challenges, and gets down with the people he's leading and serves them and leads them in the tasks that they're doing, not supervising and telling them how to do the task. This is how leadership is supposed to be done. That's how Jesus led. Okay? That's a terrible illustration meaning drawing, but you get the picture.
But it was a good illustration.
Good.
being
Good
metaphorical.
illustration.
Yeah.
So that's servant leadership, okay? So that makes a leader not worth following to me. Like when they enforce their position on you, and they enforce their authority on you to get you to do what you want. All right, so let's start reading. Sarah, can you do that first paragraph, and then at each line break there, we'll just keep moving forward.
Chances are you've been lied to, disappointed, or misled by someone. Chances are you've been made promises that didn't come true, and a leader has told you one thing but done another. But on the other hand, chances are that someone has encouraged you, cared about you, inspired you, or gave you directions that were right. You see, leadership in all of life really has a lot to do with communication. Not just whether or not we communicate, but how we do it. Even if you're just sitting there and you're communicating.
Think about this. How does a teacher know whether or not you're bored in class? Or how do you know if that girl or guy likes you? We're constantly communicating things, so our actions, our attitudes, and our words. The real question is, what are we communicating?
You read the next one. As leaders, there's definitely a skill that we can hone in order to communicate in a way that helps and serves the people around us. But it's really not worth it to hone that skill unless we first take care of the heart behind our communication. All the perfectly crafted words spoken with influence at all the right places can't replace a wise answer or a humble attitude. Words will never cover up whether or not you think you're better than the person sitting in front of you. Ulterior motives will always be revealed, even behind the most inspiring speech. So before we get into some of the skills we can grow in when it comes to communicating, we need to first deal with where our communication comes from, the heart. Take a look at the next page, what God says about the power of our communication and how we can check our heart behind it.
Okay, so before we go to this discussion, let's go to that next page and take turns reading those verses together, okay? We'll just start with Zach on it first.
Matthew 15:18. But the things that come out of the mouth come from the heart, and these make a man unclean.
Matthew 12:34. For out of the overflow of the heart the mouth speaks.
James 1:19. My dear brothers, take note of this. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry.
Proverbs 18:13. He who answers before listening, that is his folly and his shame.
Colossians 4:6. Let your conversation be always full of grace, seasoned with salt, so that you may know how to answer everyone. Proverbs 15:1-2. A soft answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. The tongue of the wise uses knowledge rightly, but the mouth of fools puts forth foolishness.
Proverbs 18:2. A fool finds no pleasure in understanding, but delights in airing his own opinions.
Proverbs 30:32. If you have been foolish, evaluating yourself, or if you have been devising evil, put your hand on your mouth.
Matthew 12:36. I tell you, on the day of judgment, people will give account for every careless word they speak.
Proverbs 10:19. When words are many, sin is not absent, but he who holds his tongue is wise.
Proverbs 141:3. Take control of what I say, O Lord, and keep my lips sealed.
Psalm 19:14. May the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be pleasing in your sight, O Lord, my rock.
All right, good. Let's go back to the first page. All right. What do your words reveal about your heart? Keeping in mind some of those verses that we read. What do your words reveal about your heart?
Show what you're feeling. Basically, like, your words are saying, basically, what comes out of your mouth was in your heart. And so if you have malice in your heart, malice in your words, that's reflecting what you feel. But if you have positivity in your heart, that's going to be reflected in your words.
Good, very good. All right, keeping on that question here, and the rest we're going to go through quickly, but this is important. When you speak positivity, it motivates people. Okay? So if you're a student leader and we're discussing how can we make our worship ministry better? How can we make worship more meaningful to the students and more meaningful to God? One thing that you don't do is say, man, those middle schoolers this morning, man, they just ruined, like, and listen, it's okay to be like, oh, man, what was up with that? You know? But saying, dude, those middle school, maybe we just need to split high school, middle school worship. Because those, man, they're just terrible. They don't behave, you know? That's negativity. So what that does, positivity motivates. If you say it this way, I love that. If you say it this way, I just feel like there's some things we can do to make people connect with the songs that we sing and the lyrics that we're singing together. You can say the same exact thing in a positive way. Okay? So listen, when we're tempted to say something negative, you have to be thoughtful about what you say. When you say things to discourage others when you aren't thoughtful about the words that are coming out of your mouth. Okay? And some people are prone to this a little bit more, depending on the home they grew up in, or the friends that they have. People are prone to speak negative and to demotivate people in a natural sense. So like, if they don't think about it, what's going to come out of their mouth is going to be negative. Very rarely will you find someone that's not going to think about what they say and then what's going to come out is positive. Okay? Most people speak negative just by nature. So, if we're just talking about worship, you can say you can have the same exact outcome in the conversation and talk about the same issue by saying it in a positive way or a negative way. But the end result right here is different. You can say something negative about the way that middle schoolers acted this morning. Or you can say something positive about an idea that will encourage them to pay more attention. And you can have a motivating outcome or you can have a discouraging outcome. Does that make sense? So when you're communicating on a team, you're communicating, and this is a leadership lesson. You can be honest about something. You can be deceitful about something. You guys ever had passive-aggressive people on a team? That like, if they don't agree with something or they don't get their way, they're not going to like come out and say, oh, you guys are a bunch of, but they're going to act like they think that, right? Or just like in subtle ways, like flick you in the eye with a rubber band, right? They don't hate you, but they're going to pop you in the eye.
That will happen if any of you disagree with me.
But the thing is, passive-aggressive is just where we naturally go to. Like, or I'm just going to avoid that person. But positivity leads to motivation. So it doesn't matter even if you feel frustrated about something, you have to be thoughtful enough to rephrase your feelings into a positive sentence or a positive suggestion. And then motivation is the outcome instead of discouragement. All right, let's go to the next question. Who's next there? Oh, I'm sorry, I was reading the question. How important is listening when it comes to communication? This is the question. How important is listening? Are you a good listener? Why or why not? Let's just take the first part. How important is listening when it comes to communication? When you're communicating with someone, how important is listening to the person?
Yeah, it's really.
It's vital, pretty much.
Have you ever talked to a person that does not get that principle?
Yes, and it's really frustrating.
I know people who, when I'm talking to them, all they're doing is waiting for the opportunity to say something next. Like they're just waiting for me to stop. They just, okay, he's done. And then they say what they were thinking. Okay? I call them me monsters. They're me monsters. It's all about me. Like, I'm going to wait. Like, I'll wait. Like, I'll act like I'm paying attention. But as soon as he's done, I'm off. And what I know, if they're doing that, what I know is when I'm talking, they're thinking about what they're going to say next instead of listening. Listening is so key for communication. All right? I'm a married man. I can tell you that's true. When do you tend to use words to exalt yourself? Let's answer that question. When do you tend to use words that exalt yourself?
When you're angry.
When you're angry, good. Maybe when you feel like you're not heard very well. You feel like you're not getting through.
Wait, words that exalt yourself or words
Yeah.
that put other people down?
It's kind of the same
Because at some point, you know, when I'm just feeling good, I'm also happy about who I am and will be very positive. So that might be different. But occasionally, it's just because you're happy and you like who you are.
Exactly. No. Let's skip to number 5 here. Okay, so number 5 is based on your words. What do your friends think about you? This is a personal question. We don't have to answer this one. So based on the words we say, like we talked about with social media, the words that come in your mouth are the same principle. When you say things, people assume things about you. Okay? And what people start to notice when you're a leader is if you speak with positivity, they enjoy the motivating outcome that comes out, that happens in their life. If you are a leader who relies on negativity to get your way, what people end up realizing is they don't enjoy the discouragement that comes when you talk. So what they'll do is they'll start getting passive aggressive with you, or they'll start being dishonest with you. And that's not leadership anymore, that's fighting. Okay? So we read all those verses. Let's go to the next page, page 2. And this goes over a couple points that I'd love for you guys to think about. Let's start at the bottom of that page 2, communication skills. Who's next? Is that Curtis or Mallory? Who is the next person to read? Where did we leave off? I forgot.
Yeah, I think it was
I think it was me.
Maddie? Okay, could you read that paragraph before number 1?
As leaders, communication must not only come from a heart that shows care, value, and selflessness, it must also be communication that is clear. We must own our skills so that our influence isn't muddled but inspiring. At Leader Tracks, we use a simple checklist of the 4 C's to keep us on track. No matter what you're doing, here are 4 things that can help you make sure you're communicating in a way that helps the people around you.
Okay, this is good stuff right here. Can you go ahead and start with the first one, Sarah?
Clear. Are you saying everything that needs to be said? Are you including all the information so that people confidently know what's happening? For example, what's wrong with this invite? Bryce's surprise birthday party tonight at 7.
Go ahead, Jake.
2, concise. Land the plane, don't talk in circles. Bullet point when necessary. No one likes a rambler. Keep your influence by keeping your words few.
This is important. I had a guy. I was on the executive leadership team at my last church, the one that Jeremy was talking about. And we had a guy in there, a pastor that hardly ever spoke. Right? He hardly ever said anything. Like when everyone's talking about issues and giving their opinions, he would just sit there. And probably once every 3 or 4 meetings, he would say something. And when he did say something, what do you think happened?
Everyone listened.
Everyone listened. And what was the impact of what he said? You think it was stronger or weaker? It was stronger. So when your words are few, your words are stronger. Does that make sense? It doesn't mean when you have something to say, just don't pretend like you don't. What it means is be careful and short with what you say. Because when you ramble, it makes your point weaker rather than stronger. Okay, so it doesn't mean be silent when you should be speaking up, but it means you don't want to ramble. You don't want to be long-winded when it comes to being on a team of leaders. Okay? All right, let's go to the next one.
Compassionate. This deals with some of the hard stuff that the Bible study talked about. Do the people around you know you care about them? Are you thinking about others when you communicate? Encouraging, inspiring, serving. Are you thinking about yourself? Making sure you look good, blaming, gossip.
Okay. Good. So does the way you communicate come from a genuine care for another person or a genuine care for what your desired outcome is? When you communicate, you have to realize you're not communicating with a droid, you're communicating with a human being. And they have feelings. The way you come across matters, the way you say something matters, the way they feel matters in the conversation.
Robots
right?
have feelings too.
Huh?
Robots have feelings too.
The way they feel when they talk to you is very important. And ultimately, you have some responsibility for that. You don't have all the responsibility for the way they feel when you talk to them. But communication means if you're taking the liberty to communicate, you're responsible for how you come across. At least as far as it depends on you. All right, let's go to number 4.
Complete. Don't leave people hanging. Be ready and willing to answer questions or clarify. Also, be sure to celebrate wins. When the project is done, when the game is finished, celebrate what went well.
Okay. Can someone give me the time real quick?
4:14.
Oh, okay, we can't do this part then. All right, guys.
4:14.
4:14? Okay. Well, I just encourage you guys to take that little inventory there. It's a little rating thing. If you have time later, go through and answer those questions about, and really think about the way you communicate. So it asks you some things like, how often do I find myself trying to get on top in a conversation, being a me monster, and trying to always one-up somebody when I talk to them? How often do I find myself doing that? You can take that inventory and answer those questions at the bottom.
numbers if we need to.
You can add numbers. But if your scale doesn't work from 1 to 5.
11.
Nope.
So what about the kid dancing this morning?
Yeah.
Stage.
Oh, okay. Well,
It was somewhat, he
It
took
was-
seriously
let's just
what
say
someone else
this.
said sarcastically.
it was a leader not communicating well that led to that.
What was it?
He took seriously what someone said to him sarcastically.
He said someone
Yes.
said.
Wait, what?
A leader
Yeah,
said,
someone was like, if you're gonna dance, why don't you go up to the stage and do it? She was doing it sarcastically and he took it seriously.
Yeah.
It was a misunderstanding.
Anyway, yeah,
That's
you won't,
crazy.
and that won't happen. So anyway, guys, I'm excited about exploring all these. There's so many things about our youth ministry right now, guys. Let me just say this.
Yeah.
I think we're in a good place. And the potential is sky high for our youth ministry. I just can't, and I feel this in a real tangible spiritual way as well, that there are people that we haven't met yet, guys. There are people that we don't know. And God's working in their life, and at some point, we're going to have an interaction and a connection with them. And you know, it could be like the Grabowskis. We didn't know them a month ago, right? 6 weeks ago.
But now we love them.
But the point is, we don't know what God has in store for us. And I just want to encourage you guys to be in prayer about this position that you guys have now. You guys are student leaders from right now forward. And I just want to encourage you guys to read over that expectations list again. And all we're doing in that, we're not laying things on you. What we're trying to do is also give you an idea. This is how Christ has called us to live. And that's really all that sheet is. If you read that list, you basically can just say, oh, well, you're asking me to be a Christian. Yeah, we are. We're asking you to follow Jesus. And also to do that in a way that you can serve other people who are trying to do the same thing. So if any of you guys read that list and you're like, you know what? And I don't know if I can, maybe I want to rethink this whole thing. Maybe I don't know if this is right for me. And you read the expectations, and you're like, oh gosh, maybe I shouldn't have applied for this thing. Just come talk to me later. But I hope that all of you guys are excited about what's going on. So take your calendars out real quick on your phones and check out January 10th for me. I was interested in seeing if we could make that a meeting time.
It is the 10th day of January.
10th day of January. It is indeed the 10th. It's on a Sunday. And how did you guys feel about Sundays from 2 to 4, first of all? How do you guys feel about that time? 2 hours is a little long. It's not going to normally be 2.5 hours.
It's a good time.
Sunday's a good day for a lot of people because
You guys are already doing church?
yeah, because people who
Yeah,
do
there
have
anyway.
events, they usually set it aside on Sundays because of church. So it's a good
Yeah.
time.
All right, I'm down for that.
It's a good time, in general.
Okay.
Hey, what was that day you gave?
January 10th, that should be a Sunday, if I remember correctly.
Yep, it is.
So let's go ahead and set a date, set a scheduled time there. Do you guys like 2 or 3? If we're meeting for an hour, would you prefer for it to be 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock? Because if you're staying for youth, probably.
I mean, yeah, maybe not having to go home between this and youth.
Okay, so 3 o'clock, that would get us at about 4:15. All right, so let's do that Sunday, January 10th at 4. I'm going to start a text group to get all of us informed.
And if you could just like remind us the day before.
Yep, I'm going to do what I did for this one
Okay.
and get the leader of this team to just send a text out. Make sure you guys know about it, okay? And guys, I can't tell you enough how pumped I am about this team because, like I said, I think God's got great things in store for us. And I'm pumped that you guys are going to be a part of that.
What time?
There are a lot of good things coming up. What's that?
What time?
3 o'clock. So also, check out the spring brochure for me real quick. Next thing coming up, obviously, is winter retreat. We're going to be working on that this week. When you get done with your exams, if you'll shoot me a text and let me know that you're free, your schedule's freed up, we're going to be working. What happens is this week we work on the stage design. And then after the stage design is done, we kind of multitask a little bit. But then we start working on the games. We work on getting the room assignments done, getting all that kind of thing worked out. Okay. So if you guys will just let me know Winter Retreat setup's a pretty fun experience. If you guys want to get on this.
Winter.
And also, the good thing is we feed you when you're up here. So
Yeah.
if you ever craving some like,
I mean, I can list the things I got because I was up here pretty much every day. It's like Firehouse, Taco Bell, whatever they had.
Taco
at
Bell was
Starbucks
popular
one
then.
day.
yeah,
Wilson had Chick-fil-A.
Panda Haven, got Panda Haven,
Haven.
Panda Haven.
Me and Wilson had Chick-fil-A like 3 days in a row.
Yeah. So it's really fun, and we're doing it together. It's all fun, y'all. So if y'all wanna, y'all just text me if you're wondering if we're meeting. Wednesday is a Winter Retreat work day. So Wednesday night, we're not having our options. We're actually going to be working on Winter Retreat. Speaking of that, Sunday night, tonight is our last Sunday night until the new year. This Wednesday is our last Wednesday night until the new year. Okay, so Winter Retreat. Mark, I want to make sure you guys register for that, BT Dubs, because people aren't registering. They're just assuming we know that they're going. So if you guys would register, that's helpful. The thing after that, you guys, in February, if you look at this, Hands and Feet is going to be great. Hands and Feet last month was one of the best Hands and Feet that we've done. We went to the nursing home. It was amazing.
Was it Little Sisters?
Yes, it was so good. And then the Wookiee Project, okay? All of you are a nerd in some way. Everyone's a nerd, okay? If you've downloaded a game on your iPhone, you're a nerd. So,
When you say that Hands and Feet
Let's
is
not really
fun.
mobile gaming.
yes, absolutely. So the Wookiee Project on the 19th is going to be a high-scale event. All right, we're and listen, you guys, the Wookiee Project goes where? Read that description. Where do you think Wookiee Project? Okay. There's no Wookiees in Justifying Grace. Okay,
Unfortunately not.
only in Bermuda. So it's an outreach. It's one of our monthly fun nights, but it's an outreach. We want nerds all around Mobile to feel pumped about this event. So if y'all want to embrace your inner nerdom and help us out with that, that's going to be fun. All right, guys, and then Nashville after that, and then we're getting into summer and the Princess and Superhero
What's
stuff.
going on with the national?
So, all right, guys, I'll communicate with you through text. Let's go ahead and gather up here and pray. Nashville's in March, April.
Hey,
Oh, barbecue. That's also a. Well, that's kind of. Well, yeah.
Thank you.
Nashville's going to be Justified. So we're going to do some mission work up there, have some fun.
We stay in like a hotel?
At a church.
remember that when you send out
Church.
the group text, everyone say their name.
Yeah.
once.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
good. That's good. I'm not going to be able to name the group, so you guys just try and keep up with it. All right, let's come down here and pray together, and then we'll do that.
Hi.
Spoken word?
Yeah.
Absolutely. So one thing for Winter Retreat is we do spoken word things, which are like line members, like, well, I can show you a video after this if you want, but it's basically just inspirational poetry, kind of, it's like slam poetry, and then you have 3 or 4 people up there, and they share, and they do like lines in order. It's pretty cool. It just introduces the sermon, basically. So if y'all are interested in that, hit me up, and Kat runs that. She's doing that this year for us. All right, guys. Would you guys like to pray? Could we can hold hands? Or if you have sweaty hands like me, we can do this. Oh no, we always hold hands.
Yeah. This is a real thing. We always hold hands, so
All right, Curtis, could you start us and Jake? I'll finish. No, Jake, Curtis, you start, and I'll finish. And if you
Are we
wanna
going
pray,
that way?
just
Yeah.
go.
Is it the hand squeeze thing?
Yeah, do the squeeze.
No. If y'all want to do the squeeze, we can just
That works.
The squeeze one.
All right, thanks. Go ahead, Curtis.
Dear God, thank you for what you're allowing us to do here, and please help us to work out according to Tyler's vision and according to ours, which is hopefully in line. Please help us all to figure out constructive criticism and to align our goals with that of the church.
God, thank you for letting us be a part of this amazing team and just giving us this wonderful opportunity. Please bless us all, just for all of your blessings and grace. We love you so much.
Dear God, thank you for such an amazing team, and thank you for all the people in this room.
Please pray for and help the Fraser family and everyone that is close to them.
Well, thank you for this awesome team. Thank you for letting us come together and find ways to share your grace through our church. And thank you for just letting us be here and experiencing another day of your pretty good grace, just letting us take that next breath the next day. And love you, Lord.
Dear Lord, thank you for bringing together this group of people to do the things that you call us to do. Allow us to keep the focus on you and bring people to you. And, work through us to do the work of your hands and make this the best possible experience for everybody. Make it so you prove our own, make it so you prove the best too.
Lord, I thank you for these students that are here. For Curtis, Maddie, Mallory, Larson, Zach, Preston, Sarah, Jacob, and people who aren't with us tonight that are going to be on this team, Beth and Marley, Wilson, and Taylor. And I just thank you for the fact that they're already leaders. Each and every one of them have amazing potential. And this experience is going to be a way that they can learn to serve, and they can learn to be leaders in the context of following Christ at the same time, which I know they're going to be leaders in the future. And I just thank you that they have this opportunity. And I thank you that I get to spend more time with them, and that we all get to pursue you together, to pursue your will for the students that we're going to encounter. So I thank you for calling these leaders to serve. And I thank you for the students that they will serve. And we pray that you lead more students into our student ministry, into our church, so that we can have a more perfect and bigger family of faith together. In Christ's name we pray. Amen. That's our answer, Sweat. All right, guys, put your folder back together and take all that stuff. And if you're staying tonight, we got small groups tonight, which will be fun. But anyway, hope you guys have if you're leaving, good luck on exams this week. Okay.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Hope you guys have a good week. Boom! It's over.